It's Wednesday, December 10th, 2025. It's the 344th day of the year, and we've got more snow and cold to talk about. We've got blizzard warnings in effect right now for parts of West Virginia. We've got heavy snow happening. We've got another clipper on the way, but at the middle of this video, towards the end of it, I'm going to throw a curveball here. We've got something else to talk about, but first, let's get into the snow. All right, so this is what the radar looks like right now on the WEATHERWISE app. You can see some of that heavy snow is moving out of Wisconsin, Iowa, and Minnesota right now. This is where we've now got some really strong winds starting to settle in. We've got blowing snow causing problems in Des Moines. We had a 60-mile-per-hour wind gust in Des Moines this morning. The heaviest snow currently is in Michigan, over into portions of Pennsylvania and upstate New York, and especially down there in southern Ontario. We are seeing some pretty heavy snow right now. This is going to continue to move east and cause problems in the interior Northeast and the central Appalachians. Like, you can't see the polygons yet on WEATHERWISE because the warnings aren't in effect yet. But tonight we're actually going to have blizzard warnings in effect for the Allegheny front, specifically covering parts of West Virginia and Maryland's Garrett County. So this is for the mountain ridges up there. We're going to have sustained winds above 55 miles per hour and heavy blinding snow. All right, now let's play out the future radar in the WEATHERWISE app here via the HRRR model, and let's see what things are going to look like around 6 p.m. this evening. We're still going to be talking about heavy snow in northwest Pennsylvania, upstate New York. There's going to be a couple places where some rain tries to mix in. We're definitely going to be talking about all rain along the I-95 corridor on the East Coast. Even in Portland, I think the majority of the beginning of this storm is going to be rain. We're probably going to have some freezing rain and sleet potentially this evening, but we're all snow in the interior Northeast, right? So between Ottawa, Quebec, down towards, what do you call this, upstate Maine, all of Vermont and New Hampshire, except for extreme southeastern parts, are going to be all snow. And of course, everywhere north of Albany is going to be all snow. And we're generally expecting a quick 2 to 4 inches with localized amounts up to 6 inches in the higher terrain of the Adirondacks and the Green Mountains. But as the storm moves east, two things are going to happen. First of all, even those places that just saw rain, Washington, D.C., Baltimore, New York City, after the storm goes by, there's going to be a quick temperature crash, so things are going to be slick tomorrow morning. Keep that in mind. And then also the lake effect machines are going to turn on. We're forecasting intense snow bands capable of producing snowfall rates of 2 inches per hour, specifically up there around the Tug Hill Plateau. There's going to be a couple of strong bands that make it into northern Indiana and of course across Michigan, even in the UP up there. We are going to be talking about heavy lake effect snow. And then we're going to have these lake enhanced snow squalls that make it down into Kentucky. Maybe even the Smokies in Tennessee are going to see some intermittent blinding snow, especially early tomorrow morning. So this is like between 1 a.m. and 6 a.m. We're going to see these almost thunderstorm-like snow squalls moving down into the Appalachian Mountains and causing some rough travel. So make sure you're ready for that. Once that's over, though, our focus gets drawn to another clipper. That's right, another daggone clipper is getting its act together up here in the northern plains. It's going to start off as some moderate snow in Bismarck, potentially tonight around 10 p.m. That's going to switch over to maybe an intense period of freezing rain and sleet. I'm kind of concerned about the icing potential here between Sioux Falls, Bismarck, and Pierre. Is that how you guys say this? I keep forgetting that. But this is going to be all snow up here for Minneapolis. Once again, it's going to be another quick shot of 1 to 3, maybe 2 to 4 inches of snow. But some of the recent model runs have shown this intensifying quite a bit as it comes down into the Ohio Valley. Chicago, I think by 7 p.m. tomorrow, we could be seeing some pretty decent moderate snow. Same could be said for Indianapolis. How about you in Bloomington? This looks like an event that will mostly miss Des Moines, but Cedar Rapids up there in northeast Iowa, and of course around Madison, Wisconsin, you guys are going to get in on some snow. But look at this, even as far south as into eastern Kentucky, we are potentially going to pick up on a good skiff of snow out of this. And yeah, this is going to transverse all the way over to the Mid-Atlantic region, where once again, Washington, D.C., Baltimore, the mountains of West Virginia, Pittsburgh, southern Ohio, all these places will get in on a little bit of snow. Now, our new experimental winter storms outlook is picking up on this. For the day 2, we've got a large slight risk that goes from the mountains of West Virginia all the way back into the northern plains through the Ohio Valley and upper Midwest. And you can see that it lingers into the day 3 outlook as well, as we're probably still going to see snow lingering into the early morning hours on day 3 down here between Indianapolis and Charleston, West Virginia. And then, of course, we've got an enhanced risk of winter storm impacts back here in Montana, as another clipper is going to come in after this. And we're about to dive so much deeper into that. But first, let's shout out today's awesome sponsor. It's that time of year again, cold air, dry hands, and everyone around you coughing all the time. Last winter, I got hit with one of those colds that just wouldn't quit. And after a few nights of pretending hot tea was medicine, I finally realized it was time to see a doctor. And that's where today's sponsor, ZocDoc, came in. ZocDoc is a free website where you can search and compare high-quality in-network doctors so you can find someone who's the right fit for you. No guesswork, no phone calls. Whether you're looking for someone nearby, in-network, or with availability this week, ZocDoc makes it easy. You can even see each doctor's real appointment openings and book instantly. No waiting on hold or hoping for a call back. And the best part is these ZocDoc appointments happen fast, usually within 24 to 72 hours. And you can sometimes even get in there the same day. Plus, with verified patient reviews and detailed profiles, you can actually get a feel for the doctor before you even walk in the door. And it's not just for one kind of care. ZocDoc has over 100,000 providers across nearly every specialty: primary care, dental, eye, urgent care, and even mental health. So if you've been putting off that checkup, this is your sign. Get in there. Be kind to yourself and go to ZocDoc.com/Ryan Hall, y'all. That's ZocDoc.com/Ryan Hall, y'all. There's a link at the top of the description. Make sure you click that so you can go check them out. Big thanks to ZocDoc for sponsoring this video. They're a great partner of ours, and I know a lot of you guys already like them and love them. If you haven't tried it yet, I highly recommend it. Now, let's get back into the video. Now, I want to be clear, we call these clippers because they clip you. All right, we ain't talking about significant snow totals anywhere except for where we're going to have those lake effect bands setting up for an extended period of time. Up here in western New York, 10, 11 inches. Northwest Pennsylvania, there's going to be a couple places that get more than 8 inches. And then specifically in the Tug Hill area, I think there's going to be some places that get well over a foot, right? But this next clipper here, this thin band of snow that's going to drop snow from Minneapolis down through Chicago, maybe through Indianapolis, Cincinnati, and then into West Virginia. We're talking about a general 1 to 3 inches with a thin stripe of 2 to 4 inches of snow going to be possible. I think 3 inches is definitely likely in Indianapolis, maybe 2 inches in Cincinnati. There's going to be a couple places that get more than that. I wouldn't be surprised if Chicago got 4 inches. Wouldn't be surprised if Davenport got 4 inches out of this. So keep that in mind. It's a nuisance snow. It's not going to shut everything down, but it definitely will cause slick travel. All right, so let's pull this forward and talk about what happens next. Our storm system is going to continue to deepen up here in Canada and send some very cold air from Canada down into the Great Lakes and even the southeast for the most part. All right, and then with the cold air comes our next little clipper, and then we are going to have another clipper like I was just talking about. This one looks like it's going to be mostly impactful back there in the plains, especially in Montana. That's going to fizzle out as it goes down to the south and east, but that's also going to come along with another big time shot of cold air that's really going to send temperatures plummeting down as we go into the late weekend and early next week. This is that big Arctic blast we've been hooting and hollering about. Of course, we're going to have pretty cold temperatures today into tomorrow. This is what it's going to look like tomorrow morning with temperatures 20 degrees below average over here in the Twin Cities area, 15 degrees below average up here in New York. Widespread below average temperature gradient in the eastern United States. Okay, we've been there, we've done that. But the big Arctic blast is really going to be coming in Saturday, especially up north with 40 degrees below average temperatures. And then it spreads all the way down across the southeast by Sunday. And Sunday evening, we could have 40 degree below average temperatures in Peoria, Illinois, Bloomington, and this area. We could be talking about near 40 degree below average temperatures in Lexington, Kentucky. And, you know, this goes pretty far south. It's going to get cold in Atlanta. How cold? Well, let's take a look at morning lows. Monday morning, 7 a.m., we could be talking about 25 degrees in Atlanta, Georgia. 23, maybe even lower than that, right at 20 degrees in Birmingham, Alabama. How about close to 10 degrees in Nashville, Tennessee? Now, once again, this is not the wind chill. This is the real temperature, and the winds are going to be blowing, so it's going to feel potentially around zero in Nashville. It will actually be near zero in Lexington, Kentucky, and then we're going to be below zero back here between Des Moines and Indianapolis. Central Illinois here is going to have some brutal cold. This is life-threatening cold all the way down into Illinois on December 15th. So we're just getting started here with winter, and we've already had some really intense cold blasts. Now it's time to talk about the switch, because what happens next shouldn't be surprising to anyone. But it may surprise you because we've been locked into this pattern for so long. All models are now starting to show a very good signal for a great thaw. Prepare yourselves for the great thaw of late December 2025. Of course, just in time for Christmas. We couldn't keep the snow around for Christmas. Now, I don't know how long the great thaw will last, but I'm very confident that the vast majority of the United States will start having above average temperatures after December 15th. So after that big cold blast that we're going to have, things are quickly going to start warming up. And, it looks like it's probably going to last through Christmas at least. And then we're going to get back into a more volatile weather pattern. The Climate Prediction Center's outlooks are starting to show this as well. You can see that giant ridge very clearly here with above average temperatures expected from Las Vegas up to Salt Lake City and below average temperatures over here in the east. This is for the 6 to 10 day outlook. What happens if you switch it over to 8 to 14 days? The warm zone is expanding, okay? The warm air is advecting to the north and east, and it's going to push that cool air trough pattern out of the way. And I really do think that there's going to be a period of time right before Christmas where we're having fun in the sun across the United States, and there's not going to be any bitterly cold areas. But it's too early to talk about how that will exactly affect Christmas right now. So stay tuned, and we'll let you know more. But if you're tired of the cold, this is good news. We've got warm air on the way. All right, that's all the weather talk I have for you today. I highly recommend tuning in to YallBot, the 24/7 live streaming weather bot that's currently available for free. By the way, if you just search up YallBot or you click the card that pops up right here, YallBot keeps getting better. I hear people all the time saying how it's helping them out. So just want to plug YallBot in there. It's going to be showing traffic cameras of the hardest hit areas all day today, tonight, and tomorrow. And then make sure you subscribe to this channel and turn notifications on, because we're going to have all kinds of fun stuff coming up here soon. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.